Chapter 10 to 12. Little brat, you should be Goku's youngest son. Cell stood up, brushing off the dust from his body, then fixed his gaze on Goten. In fact, this was just a casual inquiry. Judging by appearance alone, this kid had to be Goku's son. He bore an uncanny resemblance to Goku.D. You need not concern yourself with my identity, Cell. Goten replied calmly. Just know that today, you'll meet your end at my hands. Regardless, Cell's fate was sealed today. Even if he managed to tap into Ultra Instinct for a mere second, it would be enough to obliterate Cell instantly. Huh, your arrogant attitude seems quite unlike that of your father and brother, Cell remarked. But let me make it clear to you that your ending will be exactly same as theirs. Cell's expression changed. He didn't expect that this brat in front of him was much more arrogant than Goku and the others. This guy's arrogance seemed on par with Vegeta's, if not greater. Is that so? Then let me see what you're capable of. Goten's tone was still very flat. To him, this was a fight devoid of any suspense. Cell couldn't even be considered his opponent with Ultra Instinct in his arsenal. Goten, don't underestimate the enemy. This guy is very powerful, Krillin cautioned. He's much stronger than he was 8 years ago. Gohan was able to become Super Saiyan 2 8 years ago, but he still couldn't defeat this guy. His strength is even more unfathomable now. After Krillin consumed the Senzu Bean and fully healed, having just experienced Cell's power firsthand, he promptly reminded Goten. I see. Goten simply nodded in acknowledgement. You want to see what I am capable of? Then watch closely, kid. Cell taunted. Soon, I will send you to meet your father and your brother. Cell's mouth curved into a bloodthirsty grin. In the next moment, Cell's body surged towards Goten with incredible speed, leaving only an afterimage in its wake. Even Krillin, who was on guard against his moves, couldn't react to his speed. If Cell had used this speed just moments ago during his fight with Krillin, it was likely he could have killed him instantly. Whoosh! As the sound of the rushing air filled the space, Cell's fist slammed directly towards Goten. Goten remained unfazed. His fists instantly clenched as he opted to confront Cell head-on. Boom! Rumble! The collision of their fists shook the ground, sending shockwaves through the air. A mushroom cloud rose into the sky, accompanied by the appearance of a massive crater. Swish! Both of them retreated a distance of several tens of feet and landed firmly on the ground. Wow! That was amazing! Is this the result of Goten's training? Krillin marveled, eyes wide with disbelief. Even without transforming into a Super Saiyan, he can actually hold on his own against Cell. Cell's punch could have been lethal, yet Goten, without resorting to Super Saiyan, managed to hold his ground. And from the looks of it, it seemed like he didn't suffer any harm. Goten is too scary. He will definitely surpass Goku and Gohan when he grows up, Krillin thought to himself. However, Goten was well aware that Cell hadn't revealed his true strength. That punch was merely a test. Although Cell was in his perfect form, he hadn't even used the power of a Super Saiyan, let alone his super perfect Cell form. So being able to match his attack just now was nothing to be proud of. Cell, too, was aware that Goten didn't use his full strength. Interesting. He mused, Goku's son possesses such extraordinary power, but just now I only used less than 1% of my strength, and the real fun is about to begin. There was excitement in Cell's eyes. Finally, he met an opponent who could give him a decent fight. The next second, Cell clenched his fists and golden aura flames erupted from his body instantly as he transformed. It was clear that he had tapped into the power of a Super Saiyan, a form which he could access due to having the cells of the Saiyan warriors. Seeing the golden flames around Cell's body, Goten also clenched his fists and instantly transformed into Super Saiyan's full power form. To fight the current Cell, he had to tap into the Super Saiyan form. Yet, from the looks of it, even after transforming, he wasn't Cell's opponent. This strength rivals that of Goku back then, Cell muttered, astonished. 8 years ago, there was no such brat in front of him. It meant that he was just 8 years old right now. To possess power akin to Goku's peak in just 8 years, this kind of talent was indeed terrifying. But even if that was the case, Cell knew he was no longer the same as before. Even if that brat had the power that rivaled that of Goku's, Goten wasn't his opponent at all. Goten, without wasting any time, attacked Cell. His body flashed, and he instantly appeared behind Cell. Then he brought his hands upwards, clasped them in axe shape, and smashed towards the back of Cell's head. Swish! The attack pierced through Cell's body, but it was only an afterimage. Goten wasn't surprised at all. It would be strange if Cell could be hit so easily when he was on guard against him. Swish! In the next second, from the sky, Cell swept directly towards Goten. The attack seemed to pierce Goten's body, but it was an afterimage. Well, you are quite fast, little brat. Cell chuckled, extremely excited. It's a battle I've been waiting for a long time. During his travel in the universe over the past 8 years, he had set foot on countless planets, yet he hadn't encountered an opponent worthy enough to fight with his full strength. None were at the level of Goku or Gohan. Unexpectedly, returning to Earth this time provided him with the opportunity for an exciting battle once more. Whoosh, whoosh, their figures entwined continuously in a fight, resembling beams of golden lights colliding. Bang, bang, bang. Sonic booms echoed continuously in the sky, leaving deep craters in their wake on the ground. That's amazing. How did Goten train to achieve this? Krillin exclaimed, completely dumbfounded. To think that it's actually possible to reach this level at his age. Krillin struggled to follow the speed of their movements, but it was clear that current Goten's strength was not any weaker than that of Goku's. Perhaps in this battle, Goten stood a chance of victory. Come on, Goten, you can do it. The fate of this planet rests on your shoulders. Krillin silently cheered for Goten, feeling helpless as he watched the intense battle unfold. Even after transforming into an android and having the strength beyond the original androids, he was still defenseless in front of perfect Cell. With each passing minute, the battle between Goten and Cell intensified. From the beginning, after relying on evasive maneuvers to avoid attacks, both of them were now fighting hand-to-hand. Bang, bang, bang. Their fists collided relentlessly. Their elbows and knees became sharp weapons for attacks. As the battle raged on, both combatants bore wounds of varying severity. Boom, rumble. Another powerful collision shook the earth violently. Goten and Cell retreated several hundred feet back. Thump, thump. Goten's body landed on the ground, and he staggered backwards several steps in succession. The hard ground bore several clear footprints before he finally halted his retreat. His combat uniform was in tatters, and there was a bloodstain on the corner of his mouth. Cell was not faring any better, and had bruises of varying degrees across his body. Clearly, Goten's attacks had not been entirely ineffective. Goten, are you all right? Krillin hurriedly asked with concern. I am fine, Goten replied with a shake of his head. Cell's strength was ridiculously strong. Even before assuming his super-perfect Cell form, his power was immense. If Cell were to unleash his full might, dealing with him might require Goten to tap into Ultra Instinct. Quite impressive, brat, Cell remarked, wiping the purple blood from his mouth. Despite the pain, his eyes gleamed with excitement. You are the first opponent who made me feel pain after Gohan. It had been 8 years since he last experienced such an exciting battle. Ha! Goten clenched his fist tightly. With a resounding roar, he began to raise his aura again. Golden aura flames erupted from his body instantly. At this moment, Goten's hair and body emanated a golden halo, indicating that he had reached the limit of Super Saiyan full power. He was just one step away from breaking through to Super Saiyan 2, but that small step proved to be challenging to achieve. Ha! Cell also roared, and a purple halo instantly emanated from around his body. At this time, the aura of both fighters had once again reached an equilibrium. Whizzing! Not wasting any time, they rushed towards each other. Boom! Cell's fist struck Goten hard on the jaw, sending his body flying. However, in a swift counterattack, Goten's knee connected with Cell's chin, causing both of them to fly upside down. Whoosh! Whoosh! Bang! 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 Their intense exchange continued with rapid punches and kicks, rendering Krillin unable to discern their movements or even their afterimages. This kind of heated combat persisted for 5 minutes. Goten was covered in bruises. Boom! Another muffled sound echoed as Cell's kick sent Goten flying. Despite possessing the same strength as Goku's 8 years ago, Goten still couldn't match Cell's power. Rumble! A massive hole was smashed into the ground upon Goten's impact. Goten! Krillin's expression shifted. It was evident that even with his strength, Goten wasn't a match for Cell. Damn bastard! Krillin yelled angrily. I will never forgive you. Even if he died today, he would ensure that Cell fell before Goten. Perhaps in the afterlife, he could explain it to Goku, that he gave it his all in protecting his son. Kamehame. With an angry roar, Krillin clasped his hands together, gathering energy for Kamehameha. The blue energy crackled with much power that even the surrounding air was squeezed and made strange noises. Ha! Then he blasted the ki wave directly at Cell, but Cell dismissed it with a glance. You idiot! Do you think this kind of trick will work on me? Cell's slap deflected the ki wave away effortlessly. In fact, Krillin's strength at this time was already very good, but compared with Cell, the gap between them was too vast. Whoosh! After deflecting the ki wave easily, Cell's body appeared in front of Krillin like a specter and delivered a powerful uppercut to his lower abdomen. Boom! Pfft. Krillin spat out blood, collapsing to the ground in agony. It was obvious that he was in immense pain. Overconfident fools like you bore me. Now it's time for you to reunite with Goku and others. That's all for today's game, Cell declared coldly, his demeanor shifting from playful to icy resolve. With Krillin and Goten incapacitated, the fun was over. It was time to bring this tedious battle to an end. As Cell spoke, a purple energy ball condensed from his palm, cracking with ominous power. With precision, he aimed it directly at Krillin's vulnerable body. If it landed, with Krillin's depleted fighting strength, the attack would be lethal. Despite having been transformed by Bulma, Krillin could only be called an android in name. Because of rushed circumstances, what he harbored within him was merely the unlimited energy device, without any modifications to his body. Goten, live. You are the hope of the Earth. You must live. Krillin could naturally sense the imminent end of his life. When Cell's energy ball fell, it would mark the final moments of his life. In that desperate instant, his gaze met Goten's. His eyes betrayed a mix of fear and despair. It was a pivotal moment, underscored by Krillin's firm resolve as he addressed Goten in a tone that allowed no argument. Stop daydreaming, bald dwarf. None of you will survive today, and this planet along with its inhabitants will be completely destroyed by me. From now on, disappear forever from this universe. Cell said with a look of disdain. In this universe, no one could stop him anymore. Then, the energy ball blasted out. Krillin! Goten's voice thundered, filled with anguish and desperation. Despite his own injuries, he propelled himself towards Krillin like an arrow released from its bowstring. Since transmigrating to the world of Dragon Ball, Goten had encountered only a handful of individuals. Besides his mother, Chi-Chi, the person he shared the strongest bond was Krillin, who had been with him for a whole year in the hyperbolic time chamber. He refused to allow Krillin to die like this. Boom! The energy ball exploded with a devastating force, carving a massive crater into the ground, sending both the bodies of Goten and Krillin flying. Intense pain surged throughout Goten's body. At this moment, Krillin had completely lost consciousness. Ridiculous. Even in your weakened state, you cling to your feeble sense of comradeship and think you can resist me. Cell spat, his words dripping with scorn. Surprisingly, that brat had took the initiative to shield the bald dwarf from the onslaught of attacks. What I hate the most is your pretentiousness, he added, his voice laced with contempt. This infuriated Cell even more. He leapt into action, his index finger extending as he conjured a massive golden energy ball, reminiscent of the planet-destroying bombs employed by Frisia. Little brat, it's all over. He was certain that this attack would not only obliterate this brat and Krillin, but erase the entire planet from existence. Little brat, Baldy. Say goodbye to this beautiful world. Ha ha ha. Cell's mocking words echoed, accompanied by his maniacal laughter. With a sinister grin, he unleashed the planet-destroying bomb from his fingertip, hurling it towards Goten and Krillin with deadly intent. Damn! Do I have to use Ultra Instinct? Goten muttered to himself, weighing his options. Although with Ultra Instinct I can kill Cell in an instant, I'm afraid I won't be able to use this opportunity to break through to Super Saiyan 2. As the planet-destroying bomb descended rapidly, Goten felt a surge of uncertainty and frustration. He possessed the power to access Ultra Instinct at will, and once he used Ultra Instinct, he could easily kill Cell in seconds. He kept on avoiding using the Ultra Instinct, because he wanted to use the battle with Cell to break through to the form of Super Saiyan 2. This moment presented a prime opportunity for a breakthrough, fueled by the intense emotions of battle. If he missed this opportunity, he didn't know how long he would have to wait. Just when Goten was internally struggling with the decision, the energy ball was already less than 10 meters away from the ground. The terrifying pressure directly turned the surrounding mountains into dust. The ground also began to crack and collapse rapidly. Dust chocked the air, and the howling winds projected the scene of the end of the world. Bring it on! With determination etched on his face, Goten braced himself for the gamble, ready to confront the impending catastrophe head-on without relying on the Ultra Instinct. Despite his injuries, he stood firm, gripping the ground with all his might. The sheer force of the planet-destroying bomb proved overwhelming, threatening to overwhelm him despite his best efforts unless he broke through. Rumble! As the planet-destroying bomb fell rapidly, the ground began to collapse continuously. The entire world quaked violently. With a smug grin, Cell folded his hands over his chest, eagerly awaiting the spectacle of the planet's explosion. To him, the impending explosion promised to be a breathtaking display of cosmic fireworks, a beautiful end to an insignificant world. After everyone on the Earth felt the terrifying shock, they seemed to be aware of the coming of the end. Everyone was shaking with fear. Media outlets clamored for answers, turning to Mr. Satan for a solution, asking him to solve the crisis of Earth. But after seeing the power of the monster Cell 8 years ago, the current Satan hack long been frightened. The once boastful champion now cowered in fear, torn between his desire for fame and the very real threat to his life. On the battlefield, a huge abyss appeared, swallowing Goten and Krillin's bodies without a trace. Rumble! Suddenly, the entire ground began to shake more violently. At this moment, ominous clouds in the sky began to move around quickly. What? What is happening? That kid's aura is getting stronger. At the moment, Cell sensed something was amiss. Goten's weakened presence from before was skyrocketing, and an unsettling feeling gnawed at this pit of his stomach. Are you kidding? How is this possible? The power was growing exponentially, and this growth was astonishing. Rumble. Crackle. Suddenly, blue arcs of electricity cracked across the ground, their erratic dance foretelling of impending doom. Cell's unease deepened as he realized that trouble was brewing. It seems that something bad is going to happen next. Just when Cell was extremely shocked and disturbed, from the dark abyss on the ground, a blinding golden light erupted. The huge planet-destroying bomb actually started to move upwards. Rustle. Rumble. At the same time, it was accompanied by the sound of rustling aura flames and crackling lightning. Under Cell's shocked and puzzled expression, Goten emerged, his demeanor transformed, holding the bomb in one hand and Krillin, who was already unconscious, was in other hand. In a stunning display of power, Goten had ascended to Super Saiyan 2. He stood tall, his eyes were narrowed, exuding an aura of determination and resolve, surrounded by golden aura flames and crackling with electric energy. It was a transformation that heralded a new chapter in the battle against Cell.